Hello, and welcome back to Christine's Mom Picks. I'm Christine. Excuse the mess behind us. We're moving in a couple weeks, so I am, going through the process of putting everything in boxes, purging things, condensing things, the whole shebang when you're moving. So that is why it looks like a bomb went off behind me, because we're slowly trying to sell furniture, and it's just a disaster. But anyways, we're so excited for the new move, the new chapter, all of everything that's about to happen. We've got a couple more weeks in this house, which will be bittersweet leaving because this is the state where our family is. This is the house we brought Weston home in. But Eric and I have got that bug to go to warmer climates and try something new. So we are very excited for this new adventure. But today is a topic I'm really excited to talk about because it has been a long time coming. So I want to talk about postpartum weight loss. I gained 50 pounds while I was pregnant. I did not hold back on any single craving that I had. I worked out a moderate amount, but not too much because I was exhausted, lazy. It's a lot of work growing a human, and this is my first pregnancy. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with the flow, because typically I am pretty strict with my working out and I do eat decently healthy. So when I was pregnant, I was like, yeah, I want another donut. Yeah, I want a bag of chips. I did not hold back. And 50 pounds later, there we were. And I also am one of those moms who did not just lose the weight breastfeeding. I was so envious of my friends who they were back their pre-pregnancy weight 2 months postpartum, and I was hovering around that 40 mark, 40 pounds plus postpartum for several months. And then I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to do something about this. So I want to kind of go through what I've done and what's helped me. Let me just also preface, it was my goal to get to my pre-pregnancy weight by Weston's birthday. We were 3 weeks away from his birthday, and I'm going to make my goal. So that is why I want to share with you how I was able to lose 50 pounds. And granted, I know 10 of those pounds were what was the weight of Weston when he was in my belly, but still 40 pounds in a year. I'm proud of myself because I definitely still, within these last year, ate my pasta, drank my wine, ate chips, had the occasional donut, nothing like my pregnancy life. But okay, so let's just get started. So first things first, we have a dog, and I walk him almost every single day. I try to be the one who walks him, just because I know that's more steps I can get. And since he is a high energy dog, I try to do at least 2 miles a day. Granted, I know that's not accessible for everybody, but you know what? There's alternatives. You could get a walking pad. So you could maybe you're working from home, you put the walking pad underneath your desk. But I think trying to aim for that 10,000 steps a day actually makes a difference. And I think walking is great because it's low impact. And what you can really help is if you baby wear. So then it's kind of like a weighted walk. So then you're burning even more calories. So I would love to take Weston, throw him in my carrier, grab my dog, and then just go on a walk around the neighborhood. I think this was fantastic because a few reasons. One, Weston was getting his vitamin D. We were all getting outside. It was a great break in the day. And I don't know about you, but walks are so meditative for me. I love going on walks. I'll literally go on a walk without the dog. And I always feel guilty. I'm like, what am I doing? He needs to be here. But I'd say 10,000 steps a day, actually do it. I think the ways you can make sure that you're tracking it is a lot of phones have that health app, and you're able to just kind of track, and it kind of can kind of feel how far you're going and kind of get your distance. Or you can get an Apple Watch, an Oura Ring, all the different alternatives and options to track your steps. Or go back to the original Fitbit. Those things are very affordable. You can find even used ones on Amazon for very cheap. There are lots of ways you can track your steps. So that's one thing. I try to do 2 miles a day. And the next thing, I do like to incorporate workouts as well. So I like to do about 3 to 4 workouts a week. I primarily stick with lower impact. I find that that's best for my body. I think it depends on the person. Everybody's different. Some people prefer strength training. Some people prefer HIIT workouts or circuit training. For me, the classes where I see the most improvement in strength, and classes that don't get me so worked up where my appetite where I become insatiable, where I could eat everything in the world. I love barre, Pilates, and hot yoga. Those are my favorite. I love them because I'm definitely toning by doing those workouts. But when I was doing, like I used to do Orange Theory, and I love Orange Theory. I think it's a fantastic workout. But every time I do it, I would eat so much food because it made me so hungry. Whereas when I do these lower impact workouts, such as barre and hot Pilates, I don't feel that need to go like raid the kitchen right after the workout. So that's what's really been helpful for me, is finding that balance where I can work out and not like eat a crazy amount. But that goes to my third thing. When I am a breastfeeding mom, so if you are breastfeeding, you cannot go in a calorie deficit, otherwise it will affect your milk supply. So I still try to eat about 2,000 calories a day, or 2,500. I think I try to stick in that. I try to go like hover around 2,000, but I've gone up to 2,500 depending on what kind of workout I'm doing. But within that 2,000 calorie like day, I am aiming for around 200 grams of protein. Yes, I know that sounds absolutely insane, but you know what the craziest thing is like even eating that 200 grams of protein a day, I was still hungry. I don't know what breastfeeding does to me. I'm starving, but I was like, okay, well, I know by eating this, like by eating the 200 grams of protein, by eating enough calories, the protein is helping me lose the weight, but the calories is helping me keep my milk supply. I found that combination to be awesome. I mean, that's how I'm down 40 pounds. It didn't affect my milk supply. And I honestly think that it is helping me achieve my goal soon. I know I'm just a couple pounds away, so I haven't achieved my goal yet, but I'm not giving up. I'm too close to the finish line to give up. So those are just like the steps that I found like super duper helpful. And another thing, while you're eating, it's also important to eat carbs. And that is something I have been like, I don't know if I just have a fear of carbs or whatever. And I was never like crazy skinny prior to my pre-pregnancy weight, but like I would always opt for like a lower carb dinner. Like that was kind of what I was going for, like when I would make my normal meals. But now that I'm breastfeeding, I'm finding the importance of like including sweet potatoes into my diet. Yes, they're carbs, but they have so many nutritional benefits. Like, yes, we should do that. And bread is not the worst. Why don't you like going for sourdough bread? Delicious, not horrible for you. So carbs are not the devil. That's what I'm finding out. And like I'm incorporating more rice into my diet. I think the whole thing, and you've probably heard this word before, is moderation. Moderation is key. And when I say with moderation, if I'm about to have some rice, I'll maybe do half a cup versus before I'd probably do a full cup. Or if I'm doing pasta, I'd probably do just like a cup of pasta versus like filling my bowl and then going for seconds and then thirds. So I think like allowing yourself to eat the foods that you want, but in moderation, kind of also doesn't make you feel like you like are missing out or you're starving or like, I don't know, just always making sure that you are getting enough food in your diet. And then also my favorite thing to do is at the end of the night, after I've eaten my dinner, I like to make a high protein dessert. And if you Google high protein, I will link a recipe that I love, a high protein cookie dough. You're using protein powder, you're using cottage cheese. It is dessert and it is like literally hitting all your protein goals. Like it helps so much and it's delicious. So it makes you like excited and you don't feel like you're getting, I don't know, like you're being cheated out of like eating and enjoying your food. And then obviously, if you're breastfeeding, hydration, drinking water is so extremely important. If you want to add electrolytes to your diet, that's even better. I love coconut water. I love electrolyte packets. I think everybody likes different packets. I'll link the one that I like. And just normal water is so important. Like I try to think about like, you know, those Stanley jugs, which they're like 30 to 40 ounces, maybe 3 or 4 of those a day minimum. And then maybe like a sparkling water with dinner and just like incorporating different beverages throughout the day that really can aid in your hydration. I think with all those 4 steps, the 10,000 steps a day, the protein, hitting your protein, working out 3 to 4 times a week, and drinking tons of water, you're going to do it. Like it will happen. Trust me, because like I'm telling you, it was not easy. I gained a ton of weight while I was pregnant. I held on to absolutely everything while I was breastfeeding. So once I incorporated all these steps, I finally started seeing results. So if I were able to see results, I feel like you can too, just by following those steps. I hope it works. I mean, it's been great for me. I've got some friends who are following a similar pattern as myself, and they're also seeing results. So I feel like here we are, we can do this. Well, I hope this was super helpful. Again, I know like the postpartum, their body changing, it's very hard mentally, especially like 50 pounds, like in a short period of time. It does, like, it affected me mentally. I was like, I felt like really insecure when I was done, when I delivered, after I delivered my baby and I was postpartum. But I know I love my baby, and I like, it created him, and I would not change it for the world. So I do know that, but it was hard. It was a big change for my body. And that is why I decided to do something about it. I'm like, if I don't feel 100% confident, I need to do something about that. I need to feel good about myself. So how am I going to get there? And honestly, by eating all of this food and drinking this water and getting the endorphins from the workout, I feel like it's affected my mood mentally. I feel like it helped my postpartum hormones kind of get more realigned, and I just felt like a better version of myself. So again, I hope this is super helpful. I would love to hear if you have any tips for your postpartum weight loss journey, because I do know this is a hot topic. I know a lot of moms, I mean, it's common to gain weight while you're pregnant. So what did you do to help shed those pounds? Or maybe do you have a favorite high protein recipe that you just like absolutely swear by? Kind of like me in this cookie dough. I will put this in the link because you are going to like go, wow, delicious. All right. Well, I hope this is super helpful. Again, I post every week, so hit the subscribe button and get the notifications, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.